Hi, my name is Travis Galloway, and today I'm going to do a presentation on creators on creating. But first, I'm just going to give you my opinion of what a creative mind should be, or what some of the basic things I've picked up from these creators that I read about through this course. First, I've noticed that most of these creators, they have family. And I'm not just talking about just their actual family, close family, but their friends will consider family. And that's one of the things I think it was most important to them in their way of creating stuff. So that goes in being creative. Another thing, I say TR, but it's they're risk takers. They're risk takers in their own right and whatever they're creating. So that's one of the things I think made them a creator. A creative mind. That goes in there. And SPO. SPO, they were spontaneous. They were spontaneous is what they were doing. They did not give in to anything else. They didn't follow the same rules as everybody else. So I would say spontaneous. Con. Now the con is they were continuously involved in whatever they did, whatever they chose to be that they were passionate about. They were continuously involved in that field. So that's one of the things. And also fitting in. They weren't concerned too much with just fitting in with others and just going along with everything else around them. They were different. They were unique in each aspect of whatever they did. So that's one more thing that I think that makes a creative mind. And here we have a few creators that I've chosen throughout this course. Mr. Federico, Mr. Maurice, Miss Muriel, Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Richard, and Mr. Carl. And the reason I've chosen to actually have them on building blocks is because they became creators because they built on something. They were building on something to actually make them great creators for their time. And like I've said earlier, these creators built on something. They were spontaneous. They were spontaneous in whatever they did. And that's one of the things I found similar to these creators that I have within me. And they continue to evolve. They found new ways to evolve. Even if they thought they were failures, some people thought they were arrogant, they just continue to evolve in whatever they were creating. They're risk takers. They took risks in whatever field they were in to create stuff, to create whatever it was. They had families. They had families. These creators had families who supported them. It may not be an actual physical support, but their family supported them. And they weren't concerned about fitting in with others. They weren't too concerned about that. And that's one of the things I think I have similar with some of these guys, some of these creators. You shouldn't be concerned about fitting in once you're a creator. If you're creating something, you just have to go with it. Now, to begin some of the summaries about some of these great creators. First, I'm going to talk about Federico Fellini. Now, he was an Italian film director and screenwriter. And one of the things I've noticed reading about him was he found ways to refine his technical and leadership skills. And instead of focusing on only just one task, he tried to encourage himself to do more than just the minimum. And he used the people close to him to build his confidence and help to manage his fear. And that's one of the things I'm kind of working on myself, to manage my fear in whatever I'm doing. To actually build that confidence. I'm using people around me to build that confidence, to actually create stuff, create what I need to create, and be passionate about what I need to be passionate about. And the other person I'm going to talk about is Richard Feynman. Mr. Richard, he was born to a Jewish family. He moved to the U.S. when he was 5 years old. He tried to work in the business sector, but that wasn't something for him. He wasn't passionate about it. Science actually was his passion. And he actually became one of the greatest scientists in America. He experienced pain in the family when his brother died when his brother was only 4 months old. And he saw his creative passion, he approached it in a different way, an unconventional way than everybody else. Mr. Maurice, he was an Italian illustrator, writer of children's book, and I guess a lot of people know him by his well-known book, Where the Wild Things Are, which was first published in 1963. One of the similar things about him that I have as a creator would be he had a creative imagination. I remember I'm a child. When I was a child, I had so much imagination, had this imagination about doing things. And that's why I think one of some of the things that I would say is similar to him. And the other creator I would say is Laurence Olivier. Laurence Olivier was an actor, and he played a lot of Shakespeare roles when he was performing. He was among the founders of the National Theatre Company and was the director of its opening production, Hamlet, and that was in October 1963. And one of the similarities that I have with this creator was he was close to his family, especially his mother, because his mother was the one that encouraged him to be creative in his job, and that's before she passed away. The other creator is Carl G. Jung, Mr. Carl. He was a journalist, an inventor. He advanced the idea of invert and extrovert personalities and the power of unconsciousness. And he worked with a lot of great other creators. And that's one of the similarities that I saw with creators. He worked with different people in his field, and he kind of fed off of their creativity too. And that's one of the similarities I've seen that I may have with this creator. And the other creator is Muriel Rukeyser. She was born in New York City in 1913. She was a poet. She loved poetry. She was unique and profound for her time too. And she traveled a lot to basically get first hands of whatever story, whatever was going on in the world. She wanted more information. She was hungry for information. She wanted to know more about different topics of what's going on and whatever she was passionate about.